The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests. If you're a sensitive snowflake that may get easily offended, then turn this off immediately. If you want to hear the real truth about the gun culture, then stick around. This is the Armed Citizen Podcast. What is going on, my Go Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast live. We are live, as always, on YouTube and over on Facebook. So if you're out there, go ahead and say hello. We don't know if you're out there unless you say something. This is episode number 173. Today's date, what is today's date? The 29th of December, 2020. We're a couple days away from getting done with this godforsaken year. Let's just hope that 2021 is better. Don't know, can't guarantee it, but can it get much worse? I don't think so. Like I said, if you're out there, looks like there's a pillow fight going out in the side chat over there on the YouTube side. I love it. My money's on JMA, just saying. I don't know if he's involved or not, but I think that he would probably win that if he does get involved. He's going to be the closer out there. No offense to Midnight out there, but he's going to be the closer of this. But like I said, if you're out there, let us know you're out there. If you're new to the channel, new to the show, then let us know that you're out there and tell us where you're from. We'll try to give you a shout out and all of that jazz and all of that. If you want to ask questions throughout the show, please go ahead and tag one of us on the panel or myself, and we'll try to get those questions asked. If you want to call in, yes, you can call into the show live or text the questions. Please utilize a number down below. That number is 530-364-4678. That is the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends Rod and Shelly Gates at the Gun Cleaners. Thanks to them. Great friends of just good friends of ours, but also good friends of the channel and the show and all of that. If you're out there and you are having issues with depression or feeling down or feeling alone and you need someone to talk to, obviously, please contact me 24/7. My phone number is right down below, right there. You can email me, whatever, text me. We can get on the phone and we'll help you out. If you want to be anonymous and you're looking for someone, especially if you're a veteran, contact the Veteran Crisis Hotline. 1-800-273-8255 is that number. And obviously, we're going to spotlight, as always, United States Marine Corps. I don't know if you can tell or not, but we're going to spotlight the United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions about how to become and earn the title United States Marine, head over to the website, www.marines.com. Let's go ahead and bring in a couple of our good friends that we're going to talk about some fun stuff tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the best and the worst products that we've had or reviewed or got to shoot or got to handle, whatever it may be, whether it's at SHOT Show or whatever. The best and the worst products of 2020. So let's bring in our first friend of the channel, one of our family members, if you will, known Gary since we basically started almost 4 years ago over on gun channels and all that, from the great state of Kansas, Gizzard Gary. What's up, homie?
Hey, what's up? Thanks for the invite. Yeah, we've seen a lot of things this year, so be kind of interesting to see what everybody comes up with.
Yeah, a lot of things is one way to say it. It's been some weird craziness going on out there. It is what it is. We'll get into some of that probably, I'm sure. We'll go down some rabbit holes throughout the next hour and a half, and we'll see. From the great state of Texas, my home state. I don't live there anymore, but I'll always be a Texan at heart. The tactical virus, Leprechaun himself. What's up, Clove?
Yo, long time no talk to, everybody.
Yeah, like a couple hours, and it was cool because you text me and you're like, "Hey, just saw this new comment thing from the comptroller, going to go live. You want to talk about it?" And I was like, I was thinking, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, sure. Why, let's, because I'm going to learn as we go, you know?
I hadn't known about it, but about an hour or so. So yeah.
Yeah. JMA. So JMA out there, man, I'm so thankful. There are so many new people, obviously. Our channel has grown immensely throughout the year, which I'm very happy about, excited about. But I've got to meet some awesome people that I cared truly deeply about. JMA is one of those. And if you guys, that was probably the best / worst / I don't even know what to call it episode is when we first met JMA and that night. And man, we went down some crazy avenues that night, but I'm so fortunate to have JMA in our lives and all that. And he is going to start up a shop, and he's going to start doing like get home bags and outdoor stuff and all of that survival kind of stuff. And he sends me a text a couple weeks ago. It was pretty awesome. And he sends me a text. He said, I'm putting together a get home bag, not a bug out, not a survival, but a get home bag. And he's got all this different stuff he's going to put in there. And he says, will you do me a favor? And if I send it to you, will you do a review on all the products and let me know? Because he's thinking about putting these products in his shop. And I was like, hell yeah, that'd be fun. It'd be awesome. So he sent it out there a few days ago. So I haven't gotten it yet. So he's saying out there, he says, you haven't gotten the bag yet, so it can be on the list. I can definitely say that that's one of the items that I'm looking forward to in 2021 to review is JMA's kind of put together and selected item get home bag. So looking forward to that as well. I've got some stuff from Safariland coming. Well, we'll get into all that. We'll get onto the stuff, all of that. So before we get going, though, I do want to talk with Clover a little bit. And if you want to kind of plug and give the Cliff Notes version of the 17 pages of the comment section that you and I discussed, mostly you, I was just kind of along the ride trying to learn. But if you want to kind of talk briefly about the live that you did, the podcast that you did earlier today, and if people haven't seen it or watched it, give them a chance to go watch it later on tonight. You want to kind of give them the Cliff Notes, go for it.
Yeah, I don't know that you necessarily have to watch it, but I was going to mention jump over on the channel because that is linked. I have the links not only to the document, the proposal from the comptroller, and this is the federal comptroller under the Department of the Treasury. So this is a federal issue. That's why it's in the Federal Register. But anyway, got a link to that letter. Highly encourage people to read through that, just like we do on all of those. And then also have a link to where you can go comment if you so choose, one way or the other. Yeah, basically what it boils down to, I mean, the short and the skinny version of it is that, I mean, we've seen all of these things that have happened from Patreon having certain issues with firearm channels to Shopify to PayPal to other banks and, having to do with credit card processing and a lot of different things. Ultimately, this all ties back into the major financial institutions of this country, which are bound by certain laws and regulations. They fall under Department of Commerce. They fall under Department of Treasury. They fall under a lot of different federal bureaucracies as far as the regulation and stuff, whether you agree with that or not. That's the way it happens. And then it's just so with all of this that's going on, the comptrollers come out and said that they feel the need basically to address some of the discrimination going on. And it doesn't specifically cite firearms, and that's actually a good thing. It cites discrepancies or discrimination with healthcare. It cites discrimination with farming. And firearms are mentioned specifically. I think shotgun and hunting rifles or something is the way it's worded, but firearm stuff is mentioned within that document. So go read it for yourself. What they want to do is kind of rein in these banks a little bit and say, hey, you can't, this is the way I interpret it. Again, go read it for yourself and comment accordingly. But the way I read it is they're saying, hey guys, you guys cannot discriminate against an entire industry, make a blanket generalized discriminatory policy. You have to, we understand that you have risks with your lending and with other things, but you have to assess each individual company or business or whatever on that individual basis and on a case by case basis, taking into account the factors associated with that risk, right? They can, in other words, they can't say, oh, well, we hate guns, so we're not going to deal with any gun company. No. You can't cite that as a reason anymore anyway. So on one hand, it's a good thing. You know, we talked about it in the live stream. On another hand, government regulation and intervention never a great thing. I'm not going to say it's never a good thing, but it's never a great thing for sure. So people may have mixed opinions once they read that. But again, I encourage you to jump over to my video, if nothing else, or that live stream, go through those links, read it for yourself, and then make a determination whether or not you want to comment and do that. Sadly enough, not that many people are talking about this because it's not popular. And it doesn't create a lot of drama, and it's not a, hey, they're coming for our guns and all this kind of stuff. But it does pertain to issues that we in the firearm culture community industry have dealt with in the past. So we need to be paying attention to this. And it looks like something, at least, again, in my opinion, form your own opinion on this, that we need to get behind and submit a comment and say, yeah, I'm going to do that, I think, at this point, and say, yeah, I like, again, specifics. I like X, Y, and Z of what you guys are going for. I like the way that they want these financial institutions to actually give specific reasons, risk-based reasons on why they've rejected doing business with these companies. So, yeah, I know that was the long version there, unfortunately, but yeah, go check that out.
The long version is over on your channel, the hour that we talked about.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah. Real quick, mandatory carry, $2 super chat says, just got home, keep fighting, appreciate you, brother. Once again, all super chats are going to go to send care packages to troops overseas. I don't care that it's Christmas has passed. It doesn't matter when they get them. Trust me, it's you can get them in March, July, whenever. A care package from a complete stranger overseas is great. So we're going to continue that. We've sent, with all the money we raised the last few weeks, we were able to send 46. I went ahead and donated enough to get to a cool 50. So thank you to everybody out there. The last 3 weeks, we've raised enough money to send 50 care packages overseas. So I am truly grateful to everyone out there. Let's keep it going. And I want them to know who we are. The Ghost Squad is sending care packages overseas. So I love that. So thanks, Mandatory Care. I appreciate you. Man, we are blessed with the head gearhead himself from gear-report.com. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How was your Christmas? Everything good?
As far as you know, sure.
That's all I care about. Yeah,
exactly. That's all you should care about. Yeah.
How's the Humvee going? Is it going good?
It is. And actually, I was just rolling in a couple minutes late because I was putting the finishing touches, getting the bow just perfect on a new Humvee video that just dropped on YouTube. So
I just got the notification that a Humvee video just
I'm gonna implore everyone, please watch it, but not till after this show's over. All right.
There you go. Now, if you see Jeff leaving, that means that everyone else is going to watch it and he's leaving comments. So he has to go and answer the comments. So we'll just.
Or I have a baby squirrel bladder. One of the two.
What? Squirrel? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a question out there before we get going into the gear, and this is not going to just be for Clover. Jason sent it in. It says this is for Clover. I don't know why he just sent it to Clover. I'm just kidding. But I'm going to open this up to everybody. But he said that he has a Glock 29, which is 10 millimeter, I believe. That's the little bigger version of the 10 millimeter. Is that correct? 29 is. Anyways, I think the 29 is a 10 millimeter.
Yes.
I might be wrong. Okay. Anyways, he says, I purchased a tungsten guide rod and a 23-pound spring for heavier loads. Question is can I shoot 200 grain hard cast underwood through my stock barrel? Internet says maybe I shouldn't but then I see people do it. Thank you in advance. So he's obviously upgraded some of the springs and the guide rod, but still using the stock barrel. Wants to know, 200 grain hard cast underwood through the stock barrel. Yay or nay? Gary, Clover, Jeff, any experience with this at all?
No experience here.
Okay.
But I'm going to say send it. It's probably unsafe.
If any questions, send it. You'll find out eventually. Yeah, right.
well, something that I hear Ghost and Clover say quite often is we need more people out there in the gun community to just turn on the camera. This is a prime opportunity.
And if the gun gun explodes, you're going to get a ton of views.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just be sure to bounce around and I just shot myself.
That's right.
It'll be a classic.
You'll be on Tosh.0, man. Clover, what about you? Any suggestions for Jason out there?
So with a 29 specifically, no, but with the 20, which is same thing, different size, yes. And I will say I would not recommend it, and Glock is also not going to recommend it. So if you ever have any type of warrantable issue and they're able to discern that, they're probably going to make a hard pass on honoring anything. The reason is because the rifling that Glock uses. And so I would suggest if you're gonna shoot that, I would suggest probably going with an aftermarket barrel. Myself, what I do is I powder coat the stuff that I have that is lead. I have some kind of a barrier between the lead and the rifling, and that does help. Now I can't just shoot a ton through my 20 that way without cleaning, but I can get by with it. I don't know. I would say a few magazines easily without having to, throw a little bit of solvent and bore snake in there just to make sure.
Yeah. Moo out there says, now understand I'm a Marine, so there's a lot of syllables. Is it polygonal or polygonal? Anyways, rifling may be the issue also. That's what Moo says.
It's polygonal.
Yeah, I know. Just joking.
I think polygonal.
You're like, polygamy? What?
I think that's spelt different, or is that even a word?
Polygamy is, but it's
polygonal.
Yeah, it's when it has multiple riflings.
Like Midnight says, aren't you supposed to stay away from non-jacketed projectiles and Glocks because of the type of the rifling? Yeah. Typically, yes.
But a lot of depends on the thickness on the jacket on a lot of it. And so a lot of your plated stuff that's out there, the berries, the extreme and stuff like that are plated thick enough that you don't have that much of a problem with it.
Yep. Now, Snob's out there on the Facebook side. He's got a link. If you're able to join, he might be out on the road with Mystic out there, but wherever, if you want to, you guys can jump in. I emailed you a link earlier, so it's up to you guys. What's up, Ninja Scout? I think that the safest thing to do is like Clover was saying, and the great thing about Glock is, now this is an argument that people hate Glock. They said, well, why do you got to go spend $400 or $500 on a Glock and then spend another $300 to get it the way you want it? Well, it's because it's Glock and you can. But the great thing about Glock is everyone's got an aftermarket parts out there for Glock. I run a Faxon barrel in my competition 19. That's the only aftermarket barrel that I ever put in a Glock is a Faxon. I've had that for several years. And I love it. I'm a big fan of Faxon. So I'm not saying go buy Faxon, but there are multiple aftermarket things that you can put in your Glock. So that's the great thing about Glocks. Some people think it's a downfall. I think it's a great thing. It is what it is. So Gizzard out there is going professor on us. So,
I'm just copying out of the Merriam-Webster dictionary, and the verdict is in, and the correct answer is polygonal.
So I was actually joking, but I was right. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
How about that? I was absolutely joking with it. So, but I, being right.
I don't know that I've ever heard talking about rifle, barrel rifling. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say it that way. That's weird.
Yeah. So
ever.
I don't know how to read the phonetic description. So I'm taking Gary's word that the way that's spelled, that's how you'd say it. If that upside down E is like a
sound, and then you've got the stress mark on the second syllable, that means it gets the emphasis. So polygonal. null. So most of the emphasis on the second syllable, null. So
with Marines, they actually had to spell them out with crayons.
Right.
Before I go any further, it was interesting. I do this once a year, and I was going through my email accounts and all that, and just cleaning up trash that is just accumulated in my inbox that I've kept for some reason throughout the year, and now maybe it's tracking information or whatever, but I still got it in there. And so I was going through all of it. SARS says polygonal.
I've never heard anybody say it any differently, and so I don't get it.
But so I was going through, and I noticed that I still had emails from like 2017. And I was like, oh, let's go back and see what these emails are for. And most of them were stuff that I just kept, but there was a long list of about 15 or so that back like in 2017, Midnight Range, you guys might remember some of this, but Midnight Range and I came up with doing cereal boxes for people and funny pun cereal boxes. And so I sent a text to Travis, and I was like, holy shit, guess what I just found? I found all of our emails going back and forth with ideas for these different cereal boxes. And he's like, we should do it again. And so through text messages today, he and I have started the cereal box project again, but we're going to start with military and making fun of the military branches through cereal boxes. So these will start dropping here in a few days. We've got a few of them, but they're pretty funny. So we're bringing back the old favorite cereal box thing. It was pretty fun. Anyways, so let's get going. I'm gonna start with Gary real quick, and don't give the list of all of them, but off the top of your head, whether it was at SHOT Show or something that you got this year, or you saw, or you shot, or you worked with, whatever. Can you remember off the top of your head, does anything stick out as like, that's the best thing that I saw or had this year as far as products go? It doesn't have to be firearms. It could be gear. It could be whatever, but the best thing that you remember seeing this year. You are muted. You're muted, bud. You're muted.
Sorry.
There you go.
Let's try this again. I said I had to think about it a little bit because I've bought a lot of things this year and I saw a lot of new things up at SHOT. But one of the things, after I bought my SIG P365, obviously I wanted to change up the way I carried my gun. And I wanted to go inside the waistband, which I originally bought just a cheap Kydex holster to carry it. I bought it at the store. But then the Gun Snob did his review of this, which is the VersaCarry Comfort Flex. And I remembered that I did a video with VersaCarry in cat.
Hello,
Down, George.
George is here. What's up, George?
Up at SHOT Show. And I remember seeing this. They were just about getting ready to put these into production. And then when Snob did his video, of course, he's a bigger channel than me, so he actually got to T&E one of these. And he talked it up pretty well. And he also had a discount code to use. So I bought one from VersaCarry, and I will tell you, it's everything it's cracked up to be. Now, we're talking about a leather holster with a synthetic padded background, but inside of that is a Kydex shell. So it maintains its shape. It doesn't collapse if you have to reholster, and it has excellent retention. It's also adjustable retention. So I will tell you, you can wear this baby all day, and it's nice and soft where it needs to be, even up to the top of the firearm. So
the top of the firearm, you say? Soft all the way to the top?
All the way to the top, man.
Oh, wow.
So it doesn't dig into your side. That's important for us fat boys. It's got a little bit of Dunlap's disease going over the side of our belts, if you know what I mean. So, and this thing retails for under $50.
Yeah. When I got my the CZ, the P10 few months ago, whenever that was. I think we were on an after chat. I don't know where we were. We were just talking on an after chat, I think. Yeah, it may have been after one of your shows or something. I asked, hey, got a P10, who's got a good holster that I recommend? And you and Sarge and Snob and everyone kind of all at the same time said VersaCarry. And I was like, oh, snap, okay. So I went and bought one. And I really do like it. It's a great holster. It is comfortable. My only issue is I've gone back to what's up, AB? He's out there. I've gone back to I usually go. Most of my holsters now are We the People. I love their holsters, but I went with the We the People Kydex, and for some reason, for me, Kydex going inside the waist is so much easier. That slides in, it doesn't catch up on the material of the pants or the shirt or whatever, and all that. So I've gone back to a Kydex holster for it, but I will say it is a wonderful holster. It's just not the greatest for me for inside the waist carry, but it is a great holster. And I'm thinking about if I ever do go and get an outside the waist, I think they have an outside the waist. Am I correct, Gary? They do.
I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah.
I might go get one for outside the waist, but for some reason, the leather or whatever, sometimes it's not easy to get inside and clipped up on the pant and the belt and all that. But that's the only issue.
It's not as easy as this, which this is my Mission First Tactical convertible holster, and that's the one I originally bought with it. I love this too. This is my work holster, just to say when I have to get it in and out of my waistband and put it away in the car, get it back out while I'm sitting. This is the way to operate because it's fast. I can get it on fast. I can get it out fast. So I kind of make the joke, this is my work week holster, and this is my weekend holster. Or when I'm off, when I'm on vacation. So
yeah. Now Ellis out there says that they do have outside the waist because they sell them where he works, and he said they're nice. So I might have to go look at an outside the waist because I do like to carry outside the waist during the wintertime when I'm wearing hoodies and fleeces and all that. It's just more comfortable. I don't carry outside the waist during the summertime. I'll use carry inside the waist, but yeah, when you're wearing jackets and hoodies and all that, outside the waist, absolutely. So I might have to go and get, like I said, it's a great holster. I love it. For some reason, I don't know. When you guys want to bring Clover and Jeff in, VersaCarry, any experience or any of the hybrid / leather inside the waist holsters? What are your guys' opinions on those? Jeff, go ahead, or Clover, either one. Neither one of you care?
I do. Man, I've got lazy. This is stupid. I'm going to admit something to you guys. Don't tell anyone. I've gotten lazy. I used to carry at about 430 or so inside the waistband, and I for years did Alien Gear, their hybrid, and when I'm blanking on the name of the company now, but they make a leather piece that you Velcro to the inside of it. For it's the Dunlap adapter, basically, to paraphrase off of Gary. That combination has worked great for me, and I'd carry a full-size Glock 17 there.
Okay.
So that's what I did for years, and I've gotten lazy, and I just pocket carry the SIG P365 now in whatever little holster I have. It may be a sticky holster, I don't remember. Just a shitty little pocket holster. And I'm embarrassed. I am. Tactically, it's ridiculous. I have to do something better.
Now, AB out there says, just in case holsters for outside the waist, best leather holsters ever, works of art and expensive, but worth it. I've never had a just in case holster. You guys any experience with just in case? No. Okay. Clover, do you have any experience? I know you're an outside the waist guy, but have you ever had experience with the hybrid holsters and all that?
Well, first thing I'll say is I don't have any experience with VersaCarry except for the Zero Bulk, and that had put a horrible taste in my mouth when it comes to VersaCarry. So they've apparently changed up their game. I think that was the first piece of junk holsters that they tried to come out with, and so they've definitely upped their game since then. And they need to look into them. As far as a hybrid, leather plus Kydex, I would 2 or 3 OWB, all from Alien Gear that are hybrid. They're the Kydex shell with the leather back. So,
yeah, I love Alien Gear stuff too. Matter of fact, it's interesting because a friend of mine who I train with here, Hans, and he's usually out there, but he had a death in the family over the weekend. But Hans had just purchased an Alien Gear drop leg, and I've been waiting now for a while, and I actually had to call them today because they were supposed to have shipped out 3 weeks ago at least, but Safariland sending me a drop leg with the ALS or the QLS, whatever it's called, the quick lock system and all of that, and I haven't got it. So we were going to try to, when we get together, and we're going to do a side-by-side comparison, the Alien Gear drop leg versus a Safariland, which I think would be a pretty cool video. But I love Alien Gear. I can't remember when they sent me after SHOT Show 2019. I can't remember which one they sent me, but it's one of those that it can be inside the waist, outside the waist. It could go inside, a car. It's an awesome thing. It was like $150 thing that they sent, but it can do so many things. Alien Gear is really, really innovative when it comes in to holsters. So yeah. I'm going to go to Clover real quick and say, not all the stuff, but is there one particular item, or two if you can't come down with just one, but anything that sticks out in your mind that you've either saw it shot or you've handled and worked with this year, like the best thing that you remember?
So there's tons, and I'm sure we'll talk about a lot of things before the show's over with. So let's stick with holsters. I mean, I've really enjoyed working with the craft holsters.
Sure.
The first they sent was an OWB, which is second in line, pretty much in my EDC rotation, and has been. And then they wanted me to try an IWB, and then I've currently got a shoulder holster. Now, none of the latter two have changed my perspective on, I like these better than OWB or anything. But as far as the quality of the holster and the fit and just the whole process that you go through with those guys it's amazing for a company in, I believe it's Slovakia. You wouldn't think that, you know what I mean? I mean, it's really quick customer service, friendly, reply to your emails. I mean, just great freaking people. And I hear, I think Jeff could confirm this, but I think Jeff's got an interview with them over on the Gear Report channel. And I believe if I listened right, Jeff can chime in on it, of course, but they're a pretty pro-gun country over there, apparently, too, which is interesting.
Well, since we're talking holsters, we can make this a lot easier. Let's just kind of go down the thing and say, okay, Jeff, best holster, does something stick out, best holster of 2020 for you?
Nope.
Nothing sticks out?
I literally have not looked at a new holster in 2020. I probably saw some at SHOT Show, but I paid them no attention.
AB wants
I did talk to craft holsters, but I actually don't have one yet.
What's Jeff's channel? So Jeff runs Gear Report. And Clover and I both, what we do recently has not been writing for Gear Report, but we are authors at Gear Report. But no, Jeff runs Gear Report. It's gear-report.com. And that's not only the website, but that's also his YouTube channel. So they do several chats throughout the week. Wednesday night is This Week in Gear Report, but they have Humvee chats, they have hammock chats, they have all sorts of different stuff. But if you're not familiar with gearreport.com or gear-report.com, go check them out. And Clover and I do write for them as well. So very, very, very fortunate and very happy to be part of the Gear Report family.
Absolutely.
And the family is lucky to have you guys, and lucky to have people like Alaskan Ballistics who are interested enough to inquire and find out how to find us. So thank you. It's very much appreciated. Right
on. So you haven't reviewed any holsters, so I'm going to skip you on this one. We'll go back to Gary.
I take back what I said. You're a bastard.
Okay. I'm just going to skip you anyways.
Okay.
Okay. We're back to Gary and say, is there any holsters that disappointed this year that you reviewed or had or saw or whatever, maybe at SHOT Show?
Well, I'm trying to think. I mean, there were some, and I can't specifically say what they were that I looked at the DeSantis booth that were underwhelming, but not anything that I own.
There's a lot of DeSantis that is underwhelming. That's just I'm not a huge DeSantis fan. So,
now the Nemesis holster from DeSantis, I own several versions of that, and I've always liked that holster. But as far as their other stuff, I wasn't that impressed with it. And maybe if I actually owned one, I might love it. But I saw plenty of other holsters I liked a lot better than that. So I wasn't anticipating to get that question, but that's the honest truth. I mean,
I know, I hear you. And this is one of those things where, I mean, a lot of people maybe new. There's a lot of new gunners. They might be utilizing this to say, "Oh, these are good holsters. These are holsters." We're going to preface this by saying these are experiences that we've had with these particular products, not necessarily the brands, but specific products. Just because it doesn't work for us doesn't mean that it won't work for you. So take all of this in stride and say, this is what the hell. There you go. Looked like, what was that old, oh man, what was that old Coca-Cola thing? Max Headroom. It looked Max Headroom there for a second on that brick wall. Yeah. But anyways, so take that as a grain of salt that we're saying that in our opinion and our experience with these products, but that doesn't mean by any means that you guys need to disregard these things. So yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. Clover, as far as holsters go, whether you used them, got them, saw them at SHOT Show this year or wherever, anything that stands out, you say, man, that was weird, or I don't think I'd like that, or I don't understand the design of that holster or anything like that. And Clover might be stepped away from the computer.
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, sort of to echo what Gizzard had said. One brand that I own quite a few of their holsters from years ago is Phobos.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, it's not necessarily this year at SHOT Show. We didn't have any other shows. But even in some previous, you know, I go through their booth and it's like they're doing nothing new. It doesn't seem like, and I hate it because they were a big dog. At least I thought they were in the holster game quite a few years ago. And now there's just so many great holster companies that seem like that are out there that it's like they've decided they're just gonna kick back on their regular customers or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Jay in AVL says, got the Canik Combat Elite Executive. Love it. Trigger's ridiculous. I will say this, and I know that a lot of people hate on this, but I don't care. They're made in Turkey. If you're looking for the best gun for the value in the world, you cannot go wrong with a Canik. I'm telling you, I'm a huge fan of Canik. And I know I'm saying the name wrong, whatever, but I'm too dumb to figure out. Maybe Gary can phonetically spell it out for me. I think it's Janik or whatever, the Turkish pronunciation. But Canik are phenomenal pistols. So yeah. Yes, you can, Ick. So yeah, for me, the best holster that I saw this year, and I keep going back to We the People. They come out with different. They started a couple years ago that I remember seeing them, and I've got a We the People IWB for basically every gun that I have now that they offer, and I love them. But they've got another one. Well, damn it, I've got all sorts of holsters, but I've got a dresser drawer over here that's literally just it's full of holsters. I'm a holster freak. I don't know why. I love holsters. I don't know why I have so many, but I can't help myself. But
I think if you have been into firearms for more than like a couple of years, you've at least got a Rubbermaid tote full.
Oh yeah. If anyone out there has got a gun that you're looking for a holster, let me know. I might have one for you. If I've got the same gun, more than happy to do that. As far as the worst holster that I saw, and I didn't get it, but I saw it, and I don't remember the holster company. It was in the dungeon this past year at SHOT, where there's umpteen holster companies. And I honestly, God, I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of those universal holsters. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with these universal. They're basically empty in the bottom, and so it'll stick through and all that. But it's a universal leather holster inside the waist with one little weak aluminum clip on it. And I was like, that's got to be the worst idea that I've ever seen. And I said, I would say the name if I remembered it. But it was one of those, I just passed by and I was like, I don't even want to look at that. Unfortunately, it was bad. But yeah, I just don't understand a universal leather holster inside the waist that is going to get one of those little, and it's not even a big, strong metal clip. It's like an aluminum, like, after about 10 days, that thing's just going to pop off or bend to where it doesn't even grab a hold of the belt anymore or whatever. And I know that there's a lot of holster companies out there, but man, take your time. Don't just rush into the game because you think it might be something easy to get into. That's just a really, really, really bad design. Really, really bad design. So let's move on from holsters. Snob says, was it one of those don't make eye contact? It was one of those companies, and I understand, and I have no problem. I love the dungeon. It's my favorite place of SHOT Show. The energy is awesome, but there are some of those companies that have 3 or 4 people, and they're all not behind the counter, behind their table. They're out in the aisle grabbing your arm saying, hey, come in here. And they were a grabby company. And I saw them, 10, 20 feet away, grabbing a couple of people, say, hey, come over here. So I kind of walked to the side. I didn't even know who they were at that time, but I started seeing grabbers. I kind of just start walking to the other side of the aisle and kind of look back. And I was like, that is a trashy looking holster. So yeah, it was one of those companies, and it is what it is. But no. So we're going to start with Jeff now, and we're going to go with optics, whether it's a scope, red dot for rifle, for pistol, any kind of optic. Does anything step out in your mind as the best optic that you had the fortune of using in 2020?
I think I shot a couple things at the big range day at SHOT Show that had the new Vortex.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? The 1-10, the LVPO, whatever it was, that they said they were going to send, and it is yet to show up. And every time I've asked them, they've said, oh yeah, it's still on order. So I can't really go much more into detail on that, but I'll tell you what, you talk about being excited about an optic that had, pretty good credentials from a tech spec standpoint, but also just such a wide range of uses where you could run it like as just a dot at 1x or all the way up to 10. I mean, you could really do so much with that. Talk about versatility. And I've got a variety. I don't think it was a Strike Eagle. I'm blanking on exactly what the model was, but it was like their top LVPO. And it was the big deal that they came out with it at SHOT Show. And honestly, they blew me off enough this year that I've just brushed the name out of my mind. But I'm still excited about that. I see some other people, Snob, talking about Swamp Fox. I know Toby did some work with them and was pretty happy with them. Good people. Yeah, Razor 1-10 by 24. Thank you, Hadira.
Oh, the Razor. Okay, sure.
Yeah, so pumped up about that one. So pissed off at my guy at Vortex for not getting one to me.
No, I hear you. Clover, what about you this year for optics? Anything that you've used or you saw? Anything that really jumps out on your mind?
So, point of order first. When we say optics, the sights counter, we're going to cover that later.
We can throw in sights, sure. Yeah, we can throw in if you want to do irons or night sights or whatever. Yeah. Sure, we can throw sights in there.
So, and the reason I ask is because as far as optics, there's only 2 things that I've played around with this year. First is the Fiachi, and for hunting, man, to throw on a Ruger American or a Savage Axis or one of the cheaper bolt action hunting rifles, man, they almost no doubt it gets the job done on that. For what it was, but nothing grandiose for sure.
Yeah,
and then the next is I'm fortunate enough, and I can't talk about it, but I've actually got a prototype, an unbranded prototype scope from a company that should be launching in 2021.
Nice.
So I can talk about that and say that, but that's about as much as I can say. So that's cool, and I think they're going to be really competitive with some of the higher end Vortex and stuff like that at 30-40% of the cost, which will be kind of cool if they pull it off. If they even make it out of the gate, we all know the kick in the shins that 2020 has been, of course. But yeah, if I go back to impressed with something, it would be sights, and it would be that Skinner Alaskan sight setup that Skinner sight sent me for the Henry still frame.
The Henry, okay, yeah, sure.
I just Henry still frame, the semi buckhorn sights on those. I've never been a big fan of semi buckhorn sights, and I was having problems being any kind of accurate with that thing out at any kind of distance. And I thought, man, I'm really used to. I need a better set of sights, and I got to looking around, and I was asking them questions, and they offered to send me a set, and I'm like, I wasn't going to turn that down. And makes a world of difference, especially if you're used to a rear peep or a rear aperture sight. Makes a world of difference. Looks great on that lever action that's got the brass, frame and all on the sight itself, and just looks really good on a lever action rifle. So, yeah, if you're out there looking for a decent set of sights, and they'll work with you too on because you got to replace the front sight too, because the rear sight on at least on most lever actions is going to be barrel mounted, not receiver mounted,
right.
And this feet's going to be receiver mounted, so it's really going to screw up your front sight. So most time you have to replace both, but they work really, really well at, first of all, at trying to determine right off the bat what size front you need to go with that, and then they're really good at returns and other things if you need a different one.
Awesome. Before we go to Gary, Jay at ABL says, any thoughts on a good 7.62? I'm assuming he's by 39. Could be, but I'm assuming he means 7.62 by 39. That's not an AK. The only one that I have personally is an Inner Ordnance AR platform at 7.62 by 39, and I would not recommend it. Just saying. You could, but what you probably end up doing, here's the thing. Okay, so you can get that, and then you're going to have to replace you're going to replace a trigger, probably the barrel, and possibly the bolt, which basically means you're going to replace the whole damn thing. But you can, but that's the only one that I have that's not an AK. So I wouldn't recommend the Inner Ordnance 7.62 by 39 AR. Or their AKs, but yeah, that's the only one I have. And you guys have any suggestions for a 7.62 by 39 that's an AR platform?
Oh,
or
maybe
bolt action. No, maybe a bolt action or something.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't think.
AK.
Yeah, I thought he said all he said was non-AK. Since he did, he opened the door for me to say CZ.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord, the CZ 527. Oh, amazing rifle, bolt action, but amazing rifle.
Yeah. AB out there says CMMG Mutant. Midnight Range says Ruger, and Tiger American. Maybe that means Ruger American. Yeah. And AB says a bolt action, CZ bolt action is good.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. So let's go to Gary. And Gary, we're talking optics here. From 2020, it could be for pistol, for rifle, for whatever, sights if you want to, scopes, red dots, whatever. Anything stands out as the best optic that you remember of 2020?
Well, I'm going to come in weak on this one because I don't own any hunting rifles, so I do not own any kind of any optics like that whatsoever.
Do you have any red dots or
red dots? I have a few red dots, and I shot a lot of them up at shot. But to tell you the truth, I wasn't intelligent enough to pay attention to what I was shooting. So I'm sure I shot some great ones. The only one I actually got this year and it came with a SIG P320 that I bought, and it was a Romeo 1, not the Romeo 1 Pro, the original Romeo 1. And it was suggested I get that because I was told that I would love shooting a pistol with a red dot, and it's absolutely right. Now, it took a long time to get used to it, but I don't have a whole lot to compare it against. So as far as sights on a gun, right after I bought that, I bought the P320X5 Legion.
Mm-hmm.
And the stock sights that come on that gun, which are Dawson Precision fiber optic sights, those are outstanding. I thought when I took it to the range, I never owned a nice fiber optic sight like that before. And man, you could pick that up in a hurry.
Yeah,
I really love that.
Fiber optic sights on pistols. I always will. My latest thing is going blacked out rear and fiber optic front sights now if I can.
Yep.
And I love fiber optic front sights for sure.
It's nice.
It is. For me, the best optic that I had the fortune, and I usually have. Well, where the hell did my? Okay, I guess I took it down. But the Bushnell, was it the EQTS Elite red dot? I got to work with Bushnell this year for the first time. They sent a few things, and we're going to do some more stuff in 2021, and going to bring an LPVO to the table and some different stuff with Bushnell. So I'm really excited about working with Bushnell again next year. But what's up, Steven? How you doing? But yeah, that EQTS is really, really awesome red dot. And I've got a couple of videos with it, but I've also got it shooting on a different stuff. Right now it's on that the little MP522, wherever you want to go, GSG 22. And I love running on that. And but that's probably my favorite this year. I'm really looking forward to. I've shot them, but I've never owned one. But I am really looking forward to the LPVO and working on. I think the one I'm going to get is a 1:4 because I really don't want anything more than that. If I'm going to go more than a 4 magnification, I'm probably going to just go scope because at that point we're going to be reaching outside 300 to 500 yards, and I'm just going to go scope it anyway. So a 1:4 is kind of the max that I would probably want to go with. And so I'm really looking forward to doing some work with the LPVO. That's kind of what we can talk about what we're looking forward to in 2021. But yeah, that EQTS is a really great red dot for a pretty good price. And Bushnell is phenomenal. I've used Bushnell products in the golf side of my life for a long time. Phenomenal company, quality, good prices, customer service. They're a huge company. I mean, they reach so far beyond the firearms industry and niche that, but they're a great company. So I would have to say that one has been my favorite that I've gotten this year. I'm going to go back. Let's start with Clover on this one. And we're going to do the same thing, or any of you guys jump in because you might have them. But if you do, I know I'm a decade behind, but that's all I want. I don't want more than a 4 magnification and a dot. If I want to go more than 4 magnification, I'm going to go with an actual scope. So that's what I'm saying is I like to run. Well, you're muted, but go ahead. You made some smart ass comment. I'm sure it was great, but none of us heard it. What'd you say?
I said if it goes out to 10, it is an actual scope. That's what I'm saying.
Scope. But if I'm going to put it on that probably. I don't need to go with a 10 power on that thing. That's going to be. I understand.
You don't have to. You can run it. You can run it on 4. You run it 1:4 all you want. But if you need to go longer, all you do is turn the dial. And you're saying you'd go with an actual scope, whatever it is, an actual scope. You can have the best of both worlds.
I'm not smart enough to expand. My mind is on max, right? It's on max right now as it is. I'm ready to have like a hemorrhage because it's on max. So
yeah, we'll write it out in crayon. It'll work.
Before we go,
oh gee, what'd you let him in here for? I mean, good to see you.
Snob, let's bring you in real quick, and I'll let you kind of catch up. We've talked about 2 products, the best and worst, if you want to. holsters and optics from this year. I know you've done a lot of work with some optics on pistols, but optics and holsters, best and worst of each, if you have a worst or best. It's not like you didn't know what you were jumping into. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, holsters, I've tried out several that I like really well. I've got several from VersaCarry that's really good. Their compound series, I really like it. And then I got a 1791 gun leather optics ready holster. I really like it.
Okay.
One I seen at SHOT Show, I actually did a video with it, was pretty cool. It was their one that you put in hot water and molded it. It was a leather holster inside the waistband, but it had like a thermoplastic shell inside the leather, and you soaked it in a Ziploc bag in hot water at like 200 degrees or something for so long, or 180 degrees. I don't remember what it was. Whatever it was. Anyways, and then you took it out and just put your gun in it and held it down around it and let it cool, and it was changeable.
So,
it was actually
you've been getting into the pistol optics this year, so I'm assuming you've had to go and buy a bunch of new holsters for those guns. Is there a brand, not necessarily an actual brand in general, that you found has worked good for optics ready firearms?
Well, VersaCarry came out with an optics ready holster, and 1791, like I said, had that optics ready. And other than that, I used my quality Gun Snob fabricated Kydex holsters.
Sure.
Because I'm a poor and not buying custom holsters.
I understand. You can make custom Kydex holsters. You've got a video on that, I believe.
Mm-hmm. That's why I do it.
Yeah. All right. Optics. Best optic that you remember using, shooting, reviewing, whatever this year. I know you've had several of them. I just saw rifle with pistols and all that, but is there one that stands out in your mind? Say that was by far the best that I've had.
The little Swamp Fox Sentinel. Okay. I really like that little for like the P365 XL, the TP9 Elite SC, or the Hellcat. It fits all those small guns. Okay. I really like that optic.
Is that a 3 MOA? What is that?
Yeah, I believe it's a 3 MOA. I mean, I think all mine are either 2.5 or 3 MOA. I know my RMR is 2.5, but I think that's a 3 MOA.
Yeah. I've heard it between like you guys did all that stuff with Swamp Fox, and I'm not, and I still haven't converted. I know you guys have been trying. I'm still not buying into optics on handguns and pistols. So
once you go with it, you'll never go back.
That's what I hear, and that's why I'm hesitant.
That's not true. It totally
but I know that you guys have had really good success with Swamp Fox. Sorry, go ahead, Clover. What'd you say?
No, I'm saying that's not true. It totally depends on who you are and what you do, because I've shot optics for years and competition and stuff like that. But I shoot iron sights just as well. I don't matter. It doesn't matter to me either way. Now, I do get some people as far as they go that route and they don't go back because maybe they've got failing eyesight or something else. You know what I mean? It's going wrong. But as long as I'm able to see and work irons, it doesn't make any difference to me either way.
Well, there are a lot of people out there that are good shooters with irons, but will swear that the red dot makes them even a better shot. And if you're talking about a carry gun, I don't personally would like to have one, but I do see where a lot of people would say, hey, if don't worry about it, bro, you're good. I've been sniffing all night, so it's all good. But I do see the attraction possibly for a carry gun if you're going to be that much better of a shot, quicker, maybe, I don't know, is it a quicker target acquisition? For some people it would be, so I do see where it could be. I'm not there yet. I'm not there to really dive into the red dot on pistols yet.
The biggest benefit in like a carry gun scenario is it's target focus, not front sight focus.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, that's interesting. Any bad optics that you guys want to talk about? Say stay away from these, and I hate to say that. You don't have to mention the company if you don't want, but are there any optics that you've had who's like, man, that was really not good?
Some of the Chinesium that came in through Amazon, and I won't say the name because I don't remember. Like I literally brushed it out of my mind. I had one a little red dot that was so bad that I didn't even put it on something. I just sent him a note and said, if you want it back, send return shipping. But I'm not wasting the ammo.
So
That's it. They sent it to you.
The Pinty?
No, actually, it was a little bit different than that.
Pinty.
Maybe up here somewhere.
I got this several months ago.
No, that's a Romeo 4T. That's not him.
And I don't even know who this company is. I don't know.
Just look on Amazon. There'll be 3 different brands of the same optic.
Sure, but so I get this, and it is the basic tube red dot that you could possibly see. They sent it to me, and then I didn't ask. They didn't say they were going to send it. They just sent it to me. So it's obviously someone from like Fiachi or someone that I've worked with that had my address. Sent it to me, and then like a month later, hey, have you had time to review the optic? No. Like I didn't ask for it. It wasn't on my, it wasn't on my calendar to get anything done. Second of all, I'm not going to, no offense, I'm not going to right now go waste ammo on that. Sorry, not going to do it. So if anyone is out there that would like this, that wants to do a review, I've never mounted it on a rifle. I'm sure I could probably find a box and send it to you. I've got a red dot. So if anyone wants it, email me. First email I get that says, I'll take the red dot. I'll send it to you. So anyway, so
I've got several of those little Chinese ones, and for I would never put them on a go-to-war gun at all, but just for something to throw on a 22 or something, just plinking with, they're pretty good for that.
Oh, the Fiachi stuff for what they are, absolutely, they're great. From my experience, I've got 3 or 4 of them now. The clarity is really pretty good. The magnification, as far as the brightness of the dot, is really, for what they are for a $30 red dot, Fiachi is not bad. It's just want to be careful, like you said, putting on something that you might actually have to defend your life with over a long time or whatever. I wouldn't. But if you're looking to get into the red dot game and see if you like red dots before you go and get a decent one, a Fiachi for $30 they're not bad at all. I've got several of them, and they're not bad at all. So I can't argue the quality of Fiachi for the price, for sure. Go ahead.
The scope I got is on this Ruger American 30-06, and it's the Fiachi 3-9, I think, or something.
Now, how does it hold up to the 30-06?
It's fine, man.
Okay,
I put it on a 300 Win Mag and run a box of shells through it, and it didn't go off kilter. It didn't act funky. Nothing. And I'm not saying it won't if you put 500 or 600 rounds, through a high-powered rifle or something with it. But you got to look at what you're talking about. If you're talking about somebody that has a hunting rifle and they're gonna break it out and run a box of shells through it a year, maybe. You know what I'm saying? It'll do the job. As long as it can see what you need to see, it'll do the job, right? Because again, depending on low light situations in hunting and where you're hunting at and distances and other things, obviously it might not be sufficient. But assuming that you can see and line the crosshairs up with it wherever you're hunting, it's going to get the job done.
No doubt. I think the only argument that I would have for a Fiachi type red dot is longevity, honestly. But right out of the box, and you mount it on something, they're going to be fine. But who knows after time? Who knows?
Jeff had an issue. Didn't you have an issue, Jeff, with some kind of optic where the wires were hanging out of it or something?
So,
or was that Ghost that had that problem? I don't remember. Somebody had that problem.
Maybe someone else with wires hanging out. But dude, I wasted so much ammo early on when I first started reviewing. I couldn't get any good companies to send me stuff. I bought a couple of those cheap red dots on Amazon. The $30 to $50. It's a hooded, open back with the little dot projected up on it. I'm telling you, I spent so much money on ammo chasing a moving zero that I just said, screw that.
That must be the same one I have on my High Point mounted on the side.
Yeah.
I bought it at Academy for like $30. That is the worst red dot in this world. Yeah. The worst. But it's for the side of a High Point. So,
well, that's true. But I guess I've been lucky with the Fiachis of the world, the $30 red dots. Now, longevity, who knows? But I haven't had initial issues with not holding zero. I guess I've been lucky with that. Jay and ABL says got a girlfriend. Got a Firefield. I was like, got a girlfriend. I don't believe that. No, just kidding. Got a Firefield red dot, and it's made by Sightmark. Yeah, Firefield's good stuff. And some of that stuff is not cheap. I mean, it can be, but they've got some really high end stuff over there. Sightmark has some really high end stuff. I guess I'll learn here in a couple of weeks. I was approached to be I don't know, a team member, an ambassador, a Sightmark, but they're choosing X amount of people. So I'll know here in a week or two if I got chosen for that. But that could be interesting working with Sightmark as an ambassador for the year. So I've never done that with a company, so that would be interesting. And I'm looking forward to do it. I think Sightmark for what they are. I really like the Sightmark, some of the reflex. Really, the $80 to $100 reflex optics are really, really good. I'm a fan of Sightmark for what they are. Am I going to put them against Vortex and some EOTechs and stuff like that? Well, hell no. But for what they are, there's a lot of really good optic companies in the last couple of years coming out that you can get from $50 to $100 that are going to be pretty quality stuff. So don't let a price tag or anything like that change your mind yet. Try some of them out and all that. Some of them are pretty good. And I've had a good experience with Fiachi. They drive me nuts. They send me stuff all the time without asking sometimes. It's what it is. But I haven't had an issue with any of them yet either. So I guess I could say I'm happy with those.
That's a Fiachi red dot and magnifier to match it that I got here a while back.
I didn't know they had magnifiers.
Mm-hmm. It's actually not a bad one. I mean, it's kind of big.
3X or?
It's a 1.5 to 5.
Oh, okay. So it's an adjustable magnifier. Nice. How big is it? It's
got the flip up. I'm trying to get it out.
Now, how's the thing? Now,
size.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So I love this 3X magnifier. I don't even know what brand it is. Anyways, I love it. I've heard that there are some of the less expensive ones that are almost a pain in the ass to kind of get a pull back hard before you flip them up. Is it hard or is it pretty easy to get them flipped up?
Yeah, this one has a button.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay.
Button.
There you go. That actually might be something I have them send me because I actually would be interested in something like that. I like magnifiers and all that, so it's easier to do that than an LPVO, right, Jeff? Just get a magnifier.
I mean, I'm also not going to run it on a go to war rifle, but
right. Anyways, yeah. F&H says 704 technical review of Penty. Like I said, it came in the mail, so I don't know if they're any good or not. I have no idea. I've never heard of them. I'm sure they're an Amazon brand. I'm sure they are, but I have no idea. Okay, so the big ones. Let's talk rifle, whether it's bolt action, AR, AK, whatever. Rifles in your life this year. Best rifle that you guys, could be AR, pistol, whatever. But best rifle that you guys have started with this year. And Chloe, I'm going to start with you. I know that you've got some lever actions that have come through this year with Henry and all that, but is there one that sticks out that says best rifle that you've had in 2020?
Man, that's a good question. Best rifle.
I bring the tough ones,
Yeah, no. Man, I don't know if that was Texas edition. Was that one this year, or was that actually
was this year? No, that was this year.
You sure about that?
Are you sure?
Hang on.
Might be wrong.
The years just run together these days with this.
I know, right? Yeah, probably. The first video on that, I think, dropped January 14th. So
it's probably last year, but
I may have got it last year, maybe, but then first video didn't drop till this year. But yeah, well, what the crap? I'll throw that in the mix. Man, that's a beautiful rifle. Good Lord. And I mean, it shoots like a Henry 22 rifle. I think the action is, with it being a Golden Boy, it's no different than a standard run-of-the-mill Golden Boy as far as the action being smoother than the classic from Henry. But just a golly, I mean, that's the first one Henry's done with that black, wood or that blackened furniture. Man, just a beautiful rifle. So yeah, I'll probably go with that one.
So Jason out there says, "Great show, enjoy the commentary." Thanks. So we have fun. We try to have fun, but this is a fun one where we go through the year, and if you're out there and you're looking for new stuff, whether you use our advice or not, we're just going to use some experiences that we've had with different things.
Now,
and Jay says he's been curious about those Henrys.
Oh yeah, very very nice. I don't know that I would recommend getting one of those and shooting it, but because they sent it T&E, that was the point. You know what I mean? Right. Now, you didn't distinguish. Does it have to be a T&E thing?
No. This is just anything that you.
Okay, so
like I said, this could be something you just shot at range day or whatever. Just the best rifle that come to your mind, whether you own it, you use T&E, you bought it, you don't own it, you shot it, or whatever. Best one that you've had this year.
Oh, good Lord. Range day, there was the 28 Nosler.
Okay.
And that was in the Browning booth, or was that in the Winchester booth? I can't remember now. But I had never shot a 28 Nosler, and oh my God, that thing was bad to the bone. And then if you talk about not T&E, not at SHOT Show, like purchased or whatever, man, that Number Charms, Hopkins and Allen offhand underhammer 45 black caliber. Good Lord, that's like a competition setup black powder rifle, and that honestly that probably beats them all as far as what I enjoy, and that's why I own it.
Sure. Gary, what about you? Rifle 2020, whether you bought it, T&E, shot it at range day, whatever. The best rifle that you've had in your hands this year?
Well, I only bought one rifle all year, and it's not that exciting, but I did shoot some fairly exciting things at range day.
Okay. And, what was your favorite one?
It'd be in between that AK, that fully auto AK that I shot, but another one I did the video on was the Chris Vector SMG. That was a lot of fun.
Chris's are amazingly fun, especially in full auto, are amazingly fun to shoot, but they're so fast. Like,
it was
thinking, like, that's it. Like, it was fun, but you almost had to slow it down in slow motion just to like feel anything. They're wonderful.
Yeah, the 22 was the same way. It's like it was gone in 1.5 seconds.
Exactly. As far as a full auto AK, man, I remember I was 19 the first time I shot we did some foreign weapons training before we went somewhere, and we got trained in the AKs, 47 and 74. But the first time you ever shoot a full auto AK, man, it is honestly one of the best experiences I've ever had to this day of shooting. I love a full auto AK. I'm a big AK fan, but a full auto AK is just an awesome experience. I get why that would excite you for sure.
Yeah, if you ever get that experience, when they tell you to hold on to the front end and hold it down, they mean hold it down.
Yeah. There's a reason why they're not the most accurate guns in the world. Usually the old adage is if you want to be safe from an AK, just stand right in front of them and you're probably going to be fine. It's true, but they're so fun to shoot.
I mean, I was just glad the AK was the last thing I wanted to shoot at range day, because when I shot it up in the air and yelled World Star, they escorted me out.
It doesn't take much to get it up in the air, though, It doesn't. If you ever want to miss, just go right in the middle and low, and you're gonna be safe from an AK. Just saying. But no, it's they're phenomenal guns to shoot. Snob rifle. Best rifle experience of the year.
Well, range day, it'd probably be the Bishop 475 short mag or whatever it was. That thing was.
Remember, Clover was really high on that as well. But go ahead, son. Go ahead. Yeah,
I really like that gun. That was a nice bolt gun.
Yeah, I heard I heard from a lot of different people that was a great one.
Yeah, and then E&E wise, it'd be the Henry by far. That gun is nice. The big boy. 357 color case hardened.
I guess
Henry's one of them things. I'm still a Marlin, big time Marlin fan. I've got just an affection and a love for Marlin. A lot of that's sentimental. But man, over the last few years working with Henry, Henry just makes some amazing stuff, and they're great.
You can tell
people.
The quality.
They're great people, and they're a great company. Just all the way around. Marlin's so diluted at this point. Marlin probably was that way at one point, but they're tied up with Rem Arms and all of this other stuff. I think Ruger bought them out, didn't they? But it's been so diluted, and Henry's not that way. I mean, it's a genuine American company, and it's nice.
Yeah. Jeffrey, what about you? Best kind of rifle that you've had in your hands this year?
It's going to sound like I'm saying it just because it's what everyone's talking about. Yeah. But I got my first full auto AK this year. And I'd like to say it's my favorite, but it's not working right. And I have to find a shop that can fix it for me because not many shops around here know how to fix a full auto AK. So, yeah. And coincidentally,
I bet you that I know you're not a big Facebook guy, but I bet you on Facebook there is probably a full auto AK group over there that would be at least be able to give you some hints on who might be
Facebook?
Armor. Yeah, I know you're not a Facebook guy. I'm just saying they have groups.
Facebook's just not nice about anything full auto. So yeah. That would surprise me.
You say he's not a Facebook guy. I see him on Facebook over there commenting on news posts every 2 seconds or something pops up and it says, Jeff commented on this. And it's usually something not very nice.
Haven't you?
Mm-hmm. It's usually not very nice, but I do get the news out of the Carolinas all the time because it's a news post from out there.
So because it's not working right, I'm not going to say that AK though. I'm going to chime in just like everyone else. And right here, I've squatted down in the seat so you can see. Here's the back end of it.
I don't have to squat down.
That's the Henry Big Boy All Weather in 45 Colt. And I'll be honest with you, I had never shot anything like that. I looked at the size of the case and the amount of powder it was in it, and I was like, this thing's going to smoke my shoulder. Because I got bad shoulders. My right shoulder has been giving me real problems lately. Like I'm probably going to have to get it surgically put back together again. So I was scared of it. And I shot it and was like, whoa, wait a second. This thing is awesome. It's a soft shooter. It's pretty accurate. Yeah. It just cycles very smoothly. I really like it.
Nice. For me, I've gotten several new rifles, ARs, AR pistols, different stuff. Probably 4 or 5 this year. But my favorite is that GSG 522, that little MP5 and 22 LR. I absolutely have fallen in love with that thing. Just going outside and plinking with it. It is such a fun gun. And I was probably the last person on earth to really jump on the 22 LR bandwagon. And I'm glad that I have, because I really have enjoyed shooting that thing. I've shot tracers through it, all sorts of stuff. But I really, for me, this year, the most fun I've had shooting has been every time that I've gone out and shot that little GSG 522. It's a wonderful gun. If you like MP5s, which I love MP5s, and you want to be able to shoot it and all of that, guys, look into it. I think you can get. I got mine off Atlantic Firearms, or whatever. I think it's called Atlantic Firearms. Is that what it's called? Anyways, I got it, middle of summer, and it only costs like $300 shipped. So it's phenomenal. But I love that thing. For me, it's definitely going to be that. That's the most fun I've had all year long. Is every time I shoot that thing. I just absolutely love it. So I'll go with that one for sure. Let's start with Snob on this. And Snob, we're going to say, well, do we really want to go and say the worst rifle? Does anybody have a really bad experience with a rifle this year? If you do, go ahead and talk about it if you want to.
Yeah, saved it and it was rectified, but yeah, absolutely. With several others too, if we going down this road,
Sure,
but specifically
yeah.
with a rifle. So I bought an Agawam Arms through online forums. Go watch
Okay.
the video for the whole story, blah 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 blah. But I looked at it, but you can't really, when you meet a guy at a Walmart parking lot, how do you test fire or do anything? And so it looked like it was.
You can do anything once.
You know what I mean? So anyway.
My experience with meeting guys in Walmart parking lots have never turned out well.
Well,
This
this is Texas, and we can do, we can do sales like that, and so pretty
$20 is $20, right?
Anyway, so I get home and somebody, and I'm not blaming this guy. This guy supposedly had picked it up at an estate sale, right? But somebody had drilled the chamber. This was a 22 long rifle, and somebody had literally
forgot about this.
Took a drill to the chamber to try to drill it to where a 22 Magnum would fit, thinking that was going to work, right? So I'm like, holy crap! Thankfully, one of my gunsmithing buddies and possibly the greatest machinist of all time was able to do a repair, restore everything back to 22 long rifle and make it work. So the day was saved, but no doubt that was what I thought was a bad day. Thankfully, I jewed the guy down. I didn't give much for it. I knew what it was, but he didn't, and I jewed him down, and thankfully I got it at a decent enough price. It was worth what little bit of money I had to put into it.
You mean you don't make a 22 mag out of a 22 with a drill?
God,
I took my Milwaukee drill, and that's how I do them all.
Whew, Lord.
Let's see here. Okay. Anybody else have any bad experience with rifles this year? No. Okay. So let's start with Snob, and we're going to go with handguns, revolver or semi-auto, but handguns. Best handgun. Yeah, I know.
You just left you just left something. You left a whole category out.
Did I? What's that?
Single shots.
Oh shit! Okay, well that might be worse, but yes, we'll throw in single shots just for you to mention it. That'll probably come at the end of this, I'm sure, because that'll be not the best. But yeah, singles. I forgot about the single shot. Yes, how can I forget about that? But sure, yeah, best handgun that's not an Altor. Best handgun that you found in 2020.
Oh man, I bought a lot of handguns this year and played with a lot of them.
Yep.
The X Compact, P320 X Compact is probably my favorite out of all of them I've bought and got by far.
Yep. Yeah. Gary, what about you? Best handgun of the year?
Well, it's hard to pick, but I mean, it's hard to pick against my P365 because I carry it every day. I love that little thing. Can shoot at the range with it. Got the best confidence with it. So let's give that the thumbs up for gun of the year.
There you go. Sard's out there with it. How do you say it? Is it Cosent?
You got to say Cosent. You can't say Cosaint because Springfield doesn't like Cosaint.
Right. So Cosent, the 1911. Yeah, I know that he's enjoyed that gun, so I think that he's done well with that. Jeff, what about you? Best handgun of the year in your eyes?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But, yeah. Nothing really was too exciting to me this year. There's some kind of fun things that shot, but
yeah.
I can know that you said best. I'm not even going to go down that road, so never mind. Yeah.
Well, is there one that just jumps out and says, well, at least it was better than okay? I mean, nothing sticks out in your mind as being better than the other.
No, I was going to say the one that I think if we want to talk about the most overhyped handgun, and it was from last year, but it really, I finally got my hands on it at SHOT Show. I may have shot it last year and just forgot, but I was so disappointed. It was so overhyped. I really didn't like it. Was the Hellcat. Yeah. And everyone would talk about Hellcat all the time, and I got kind of big mitts, and it just doesn't fit for me. And it may be awesome for some people.
There's been several used ones of those come through the local gun shop. So I mean, I've had plenty of experience to, hey, I'm gonna go out and just shoot this one, and not impressed with it at all. Wasn't impressed at range day, and haven't been impressed since.
No, the only way that I can get big hands is if I put my hand close to the camera. So it is what it is. Some people are just blessed that way. Clover.
Yeah, easy.
Yep.
It's so easy. Smith & Wesson 617.
Okay.
Hands down, bar none. Amazing revolver. Amazing. And was blessed.
These don't have to be new guns. They're just ones that you have shot.
No, this was what I bought, and I'm super excited. I found a good deal, had the opportunity to pick it up. I've wanted one for a while, and it was well worth it.
Yeah. For me, I've gotten several of them this year. For me, the one that I've enjoyed the most, almost because I wasn't expecting to, and I've held out for so long, I really am enjoying the CZ P10S, which is surprising because I'm not a CZ guy. This is my first one of CZ handguns to own. I've had a Scorpion before, but first CZ. But I've never have liked CZ, but I've never been a big steel frame hammer fired guy. So when I heard that they had a polymer striker fired pistol, I got it, and I was very, very pleased to say that I'm very pleasantly surprised. The trigger is phenomenal. I'm not going to say it's as good as a Canik or a Walther. It's up there. I mean, if you're even reaching up there towards a Walther or Canik trigger, then you've got a pretty damn good trigger. I would not say that this trigger is the best trigger in the world, like other CZ people would say. It's very, very good. The one that I'm looking for, I'm getting one here in a month or so, hopefully, is an FN 509. And I'm looking forward to that. I've never owned an FN handgun, so I'm really looking forward to getting that sent in. And I fired it at range day. Spent some time with FN at SHOT Show this year. I'm really looking forward to that FN. I really enjoyed shooting that. So that might be, but I would say the CZ, just because I've never been a CZ fan, and it very is a pleasantly surprising, really good gun. So if you're out there looking for a good polymer striker fired CZ, go check out the P10. I got the subcompact series model, and I love it. I really do. I really, really, really do like it. So that's probably the best handgun, more because maybe not the best. I think the 509 is probably a better gun in my opinion. But for me, the CZ was completely met and exceeded my expectations of what it was. So, yeah, absolutely. It would go great with all those bracelets, Jeff. So I'm not sure what Sarge is talking about. So, yeah. See, Sarge says, excuse me while I drink my coffee and clean this PO7. Hey, I don't judge. It's all good. I understand there's a lot of CZ fanboys out there. I've just never really been one. I love the Scorpion. And I don't regret that I traded the Scorpion. I don't regret because I got the major end of that deal. Guy wanted a Scorpion and traded me a Beretta CX4 Storm carbine and a Beretta PX4 Storm handgun for my CZ Scorpion. So I know it was a great gun, but I got a better deal out of that. So I don't regret trading that 3 years ago, I guess, whatever it was. But no, the CZ is probably the best one. It's exceeded my expectations for sure. Anyone want to talk about the worst handgun that they've had? Snob, I'll go with you.
I mean, it's not a bad gun. I'm not going to say it's a bad gun. It's well built. It's just not a defensive gun. It's got a purpose.
It's not something that you want to. You're not going to have many purposes with that thing. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for putting in a tackle box or something like that because it ain't going to rust. It's just a very well built gun out of quality parts. It's just there's not very many parts and it's not very appetizing to looks or shooting.
Yeah.
That's all.
Let's see here. Clover's like jumping in the back room here, just me. So yeah, you've had several interesting ones this year.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go with straight up. The other ones are kind of iffy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with straight up, the worst by far, horrible.
Yeah.
The Thunderstruck. I'm gonna tell you now, talking about self-defense and all this, you're freaking insane if you purchase the Thunderstruck for anything other than a novelty and going out and having fun. That thing is not conducive in any way, shape, form, or fashion, or function, or anything else. It's gonna get you hurt.
So is the Thunderstruck better or worse than an Altor?
I would venture to say it's probably worse. You were hitting steel at least with the Altor.
Right? True.
And it also hit a gate behind you when you throw it over your shoulder, if you throw it just right while you're not looking.
Right.
That's true too.
Man, that Thunderstruck is terrible. Absolutely terrible. That said, still having issues with a Walther PPQ 22 strip. Still haven't even released a video on that. I've talked about trying to figure out the issues because I don't want to release a video until I can figure out what's going on with it. So me and Walther's been back and forth trying to figure something out. And then that Rock Island Armory.
The Rock Island. Forgot about the Rock Island.
The Rock Island Armory. I had a heck. You may have to go watch the video on that because I can't even remember the problem now. But it was a very simple issue, and it was a cleaning issue with the cylinder stop. Got some gunk. I don't know if it was gunk from the factory that got into the spring on the cylinder stop or what. Cleaned that up, and it was fine, but did have an issue there. What were you gonna say? Like the 44?
I would say that where does the Glock 44 stand in? Is it middle of the pack? I mean,
dude, I don't got anything bad to say. I can't. The only thing I can say bad about the Glock 44 is Glock themselves. Horrible company to work with on T&E and crap. It'll be. There'll have to be something amazing that comes out from Glock again before I ever even attempt to work with that company on T&E. You would think a big, huge company like that. I mean, good Lord, you would think that they. We know they throw bigger creators Glocks by the dozens. You know what I mean? Right. But they were just they worded you more than the dude off Amazon you were talking about with Fiachi. I mean, seriously, it's like, come on, Glock. But as far as the G44 itself, I had no issues, man, and I run 45 different types of 22 long rifle ammo through that, over some 10,000 rounds through it, and just it kept running. I didn't clean it, and this is insane for a 22 long rifle firearm. It was 3,000 rounds before I ever cleaned it, and it was still going. I just cleaned it because it was 3,000 rounds. I thought, okay, I'm gonna finally clean this thing. I think I did
3,000 rounds of 22 LR.
Yeah, and I did. I think 3,000. I did the an article on Gear Report, and after I did that, I thought, okay, I'm gonna clean it, and then I'll start to count over and just see how many I can get through it. And yeah, I never had. I don't know why anybody talked. I don't know why anybody talked smack. Somebody was doing something wrong somewhere. They were using bad ammo. I don't know what their deal was, but I had virtually zero issues over 10,000 rounds. And the issues I had were all ammo related. Every single issue that I had, and there weren't many, but it was all ammo related.
Yep. I do want to throw the challenge. This would actually be a fun one with Snob and Sarge. 5-shot faster. We got to throw an accuracy. 5 shots. Who can get 5 shots on steel? We'll say a 6-inch gong from, let's say, 7 yards. That shouldn't be hard, even with the life card and the L-Tor. But I think that'd be a great video to see which is better for 5 shots faster between the L-Tor and the life card. That would be hilariously funny to watch. I would definitely want to see that. So
we're gonna do it as soon as we get together. We were gonna get together this fall and do it, but
yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I can't wait for that.
I wasn't in the mood to go to Nazi Carolina to do this.
Well, you might have to, but there are worse places to be.
I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah. There are definitely worse places than Western Carolina. Definitely worse places. Jeff, Gary, worst handgun? I know, Jeff, you said that there wasn't like the best handgun, but does one stick out and say, oh, God, that thing? even when you shot at range day or anything like that?
No, I jumped the gun on that one. I dry fired too soon on the worst one, and then the Hellcat's not worse. It's just compared to the hype, kind of like what Clover was just talking about with the Glock. When you come out with legendary, it's like you're gonna fall flat. You set the bar that high, you're gonna fall flat. So
no doubt.
I'm sure there were some bad ones, but I really decided early on. I haven't shot much of anything since SHOT Show. And I decided at that point in the year, this was going to be the positive year for me. Woo! Yeah. How'd that work out?
How's that going for you?
Yeah. So I just kind of put out of my mind any of the crap that I didn't like. Said, you know what? It's as if you no longer exist to me. And I moved on.
Yeah. Gary, what about you? Anything stick out and say, that was not very good?
Not really. I mean, I shot several guns at SHOT Show, and some of them were not as fantastic as others, but none of them were bad. At least I didn't think so. And I've bought a handful this year and haven't been disappointed with any of them, so I really don't have anything for you on that topic. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all right. For me, I'm going to relay this as well as Clover and Jeff. I'm not saying it's a bad handgun. I'm saying I didn't like it at all, and I have shot it. Some of my friends locally have them now. I shot it at range day and all that. I will echo the Springfield Hellcat. Not a fan. Not saying it's a bad handgun. I just don't like it. It didn't feel good. It was snappy for something that shouldn't really necessarily be a snapping firearm. I'm just not a fan of it. And I'm one of the few that will publicly admit that I do like a lot of Springfield stuff. I think the XD series of Springfield were phenomenally good guns. I've got a Springfield XD over there that I haven't shot that in a while, but I've got one. But that Hellcat, man, that was just something for me. And maybe, like you said, Jeff, maybe it wasn't necessarily a bad gun, but you expect certain things from the hype that this thing was. This thing was crowned gun of the year before it even came out, almost,
Yep. And it just didn't fit my hand at all.
For me, yeah. And I've got small hands, and it didn't feel good in mine either. So you got someone who's got monster mitts, and I've got puny mitts, but it is what it is. But yeah, I would say it's not a horrible gun. It's just probably my least favorite. Put it that way. My least favorite that I shot this year. It is what it is. So we usually at this time of year we're talking about SHOT Show because we're 3 weeks out from when we would be going. Can't do it. It is what it is. But we do know that there is some stuff coming out and stuff that has already come out this year, or we know that it's going to be coming because it's supposed to come out this year. It is what it is. I'm going to start with Gary on this one. And Gary, I'm going to start and say, is there anything that doesn't matter, gun, optic, whatever it is there a product out there that you're really looking forward to either working with a company in T&E or purchasing or whatever? Is there anything out there you're looking forward to in 2021?
Not until there's some ammo to shoot through it.
Okay, sure. No,
it's just been kind of hard to get excited about any new guns with the ammo shortage, really.
I understand that. That is very fair. Jeff, what about you? Anything that's you're really looking forward to in 2021?
I don't know what's coming out. Okay. I hadn't heard anything. Okay. But I live under a rock, so. Or actually, I live in an Army tent, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh, she kicked you out over all them tents, huh?
I've been enjoying videos and pictures over the last couple of weeks. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, that's what I call it. But I have a question. Who's going to the Fire Expo in South Florida?
I'm still trying to. I've been working with Shane and Ron. Shane's actually thrown me a bone and is going to get me a table on Podcast Row, on Media Row. And if I'm able to get there, I'm trying to work some stuff out to where I can get there. I'm going to have an hour and a half a day for 2 days. I've got to be there. And he's going to send interviews from different companies, which will be a great opportunity to get in front of some of these companies. The rest of the day, I'll be out at doing shooting and all that stuff. I'm really, really trying to get there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I'm working on it right now. Got a place to stay already, so that's wonderful. But I really am trying to get down there.
Yeah, I'm still planning on going. TJ's still planning on going, so we'll see.
It's some weird, I can't even pronounce it, place in southeast Florida, basically, or southwest Florida, I guess it would be.
It's way down there, just a little bit east of Fort Myers.
So, are you flying or driving?
Driving.
Yeah, see, I had to fly into, I guess, Naples or Miami. Either one. No matter where I fly into, it's going to be like an hour and a half drive to get to this place from either one. So that's it is what it is.
I feel for you.
I know.
You have a 12-and-a-half-hour drive.
Yeah, but you're choosing to do that.
Am I?
Yes, you are. You're taking the Humvee, aren't you?
Probably, but not mine.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I got a friend that's 20, 25 minutes from there that does like mil-spec Humvees. He takes the high-end ones and puts all the armor and machine guns and shit on them. And I'm going to try to get one of his to take.
Yep. Cool. Chris says, I'm looking forward to more parts for Mantis X with all the ammo shortage. I know that, I know, Jeff, you've been working with them a lot. I think Clover has. I've got a Mantis X from maybe 2 generations, a couple of years ago that I still love and I still use. But yeah, Mantis X right now, it should be happy there's an ammo shortage right now.
Yeah. And, it's funny. I don't know how I neglected to mention that, but the Blackbeard, they call it. I'm looking over there because that's where it's sitting up against the wall by the computer. It's it's a magazine that goes in the AR. You take the bolt out, you put their bolt in. That's this, red plastic bolt. And the magazine is basically the battery pack. And it has contacts so that it mates up against the bottom of the bolt and it actuates your trigger for you. So you pull the trigger and it does your reset. So you can pull the trigger again and you mate that up with your Mantis X. What have I got? The X10 Elite, whatever the new one is. And I'm telling you, that is an insanely sophisticated little package for fairly cheap. So that's my favorite rifle of the year.
Okay, there you go. So I started with, who did I start with? Did I start with Gary on that one? On 2021 products?
I believe so.
I think I did. Yep. So Snob, what about you? Is there anything that you're looking forward to getting, whether it's T&E or purchasing, or is that stuff you've seen? Like I said, that'd be fire. Any product that you're really looking forward to in 2021?
I'm still looking forward to getting the DVG-1 that I've talked to him a million times since shot, and they're still just waiting on production because they haven't switched their machines over. They were going to switch their machines over in early spring to have it out, but due to the demand, they didn't switch their machines over because I want to try that one. I actually had a Sky years ago and had good luck with it. I'm like the only person, I guess, but
I tell you,
try that new Striker Fired.
Yeah, I played with it a little bit at SHOT Show, and I was impressed. I really was. I was like, man, this is gonna be nice. I think, So yeah. Now I will say that Sky reached out last year, want me to do some T&E for him, get some work done for him, and then so I said, yeah, I'd be interested in doing that. And then so the next person that contacted me started like vetting me. And I was like, you guys contacted me, and now you're trying to vet me. And I was like, you know what, dude? I'm not interested. So I don't think I'll be getting anything from Sky anymore. They're probably not very happy. I told them to go.
You said, don't you know I have a table on Media Row for an hour and a half each day?
Yeah. In Florida?
People.
Yeah.
They're going to be there, by the way.
I was like pushing like at least like 2,000 subs then. So, I mean, don't they know?
I see what you're thinking, man. He didn't pick that knife up till he started talking about them.
About Sky.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have the camera when they talk to you, when you talk to them. That's going to be.
It could be
YouTube
worse, and that's not. It's not a 2020 story, but at least it's not on the level of
Caracal.
Well, yeah, Caracal, is that the name of the company? I done forgot who they was.
Fuck Caracal. I will say that publicly. And I told them.
Are they still around? I don't even know that they're still around.
No idea.
But it's crazy that all of us have very similar stories.
Yeah.
And what was it, a year or two ago that I started telling mine and you guys were like, oh, I know what company that was. And damn it, you weren't right. There were hundreds to choose from that it could have been. And it was the exact same company.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No doubt. No doubt. Clover, what about you? Anything that you're really looking forward to in 2021?
Good Lord. Just things getting back to normal all the way around, right? I want Wanamaker to come back around for Christ's sake, and but no, as far as products and stuff, man, still waiting on a Blaze 47 from Mossberg. Everybody knows I love a 22, and so their their AR wannabe thing. What is that? The 715 or
815T or whatever? No, that was a
715T or I don't know what it is, something like that.
Trash.
That's based off of like the 795 action with a bunch of similar to a Marlin 795 action. That's basically the Mossberg Plinkster, right? With if I get it correct here, with the with a bunch of doodads and plastic on it to make it look like an AR. And yeah, not a great rifle in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But the Blaze 47 is based off the new Blaze rifle from them. So, which is a little bit better than that Plinkster platform.
It couldn't be any worse than the one I had.
So I'm interesting. First of all, it looks like an AK. That's cool. So it fits right in with the 715. It fits in with the GSG I've got and a couple of other things that looks cool, but it's a 22.
Yeah, that might be pretty cool, actually. Let's go look at that. For me, there's several things that I'm looking forward to because I was supposed to have gotten them in 2020, and 2020 happened. Black Rain's got the new Ion 9 pistol. I'm supposed to be getting one of those here soon. The FN 509, looking forward to getting that. The XTAR EP9, I've got one of those coming eventually. Really looking forward. I've heard really awesome things about that thing, so I'm really looking forward to that XTAR EP9.
Budget got his hands on one of those, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah, and I've heard a lot of good things about that, so I'm really looking forward to that thing. And then I've got a couple of different products from Mean that are coming down the line. I've got a Hyperfire trigger coming here, maybe. I think it's supposed to be here Thursday or Friday, maybe. No, it'll probably be Saturday because Friday I'm sure they're not going to be doing the mail and all that. But Hyperfires and the trigger. Unfortunately, the firearm that I was going to put it in, they don't recommend putting it in there. So now I was going to put it in that Foxtrot Mike FM9 that I got, which I really do like that, but I've got that with the Digi-Trigger because I'm having issues with the trigger with that thing. And so I was going to put that Digi-Trigger in that, but then I started reading their website after they said, we're going to send you this. And I was like, okay, let me look at it and all that. It says, do not recommend with 9mm PCCs. I'm like, well, son of a bitch.
I wonder why. I wonder if it's because of the blowback and the semi-auto is just not fast enough or something.
Well, from what I have gathered, not coming directly saying this, but there have been instances where they've had 3 and 4 round bursts with PCCs with this trigger.
Well, that would almost mean that the action does move quick enough to be able to use something like a binary.
I just think that, but they're not saying you can't. They're not saying it doesn't work. It's just saying that they've.
But I guess, good Lord, if you got a binary and all of a sudden it goes runaway on you with a binary, that could be interesting.
Yeah,
maybe a binary.
A binary.
So
you talking about put it in the Digi trigger?
No, I mean if you put like a binary in the, you're talking about putting a binary in the Foxtrot, right?
No, a hyperfire. It's just an aftermarket.
Well, that's what you said. There's a problem with putting the binary though in the Foxtrot, is what they say.
No, putting the hyperfire. It's just a little 3.5 pound single stage trigger. It's not a binary.
Oh, there's a problem with putting a hyperfire in there.
That's what they're saying. They're saying that they have had instances that people are putting them in little 9mm PCCs, and they're having 3 or 4 round bursts occasionally.
Wow. Yeah, and with the ammo cost at this time of 9mm, you don't want to have a 30 round burst.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, normally that's fun, but now, no.
Exactly.
Wow.
I've been in contact with CMC and with Timney, and apparently they have dedicated PCC triggers that are pretty solid. So looking forward to it. But yeah, so I've got several things that I'm looking forward to, but most of them were supposed to have been 2020 things, but the industry has pushed back a lot of their releases to 2021. So
one you didn't mention, and I know both of us was kind of looking forward to, 2020 happened, and that kind of slowed them back, was the Mean Arms, that roller delayed or whatever upper and all from Mean.
Yeah, absolutely. The hybrid, the upper. The trigger, I was talking with Drew not too long, about a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And he sent me a text. He's like, I haven't forgotten. We're going to get you the trigger. It's not out publicly yet. Yeah. But they've got the hybrid lower, the Mean Arms is going to have, if they're able to come out with the stuff, they're going to have a pretty damn good 2021, I think. I was really excited about that stuff.
Yeah, they will just get back somewhat similar, a resemblance to normal. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah. Now, Sarge out there says, did anyone try the PSA drop-in AR trigger? Have not. Anyone tried that? Jeff, Snob, Gary, Clover, the PSA drop-in trigger for the AR?
I'm not a trigger snob on AR. I like to do my own trigger jobs for whatever reason. I'm weird like that.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. So we're going to start kind of going through. We'll start with Gary. Gary, Happy New Year, by the way. Thanks for coming on. Are you going to have the Friday chat for New Year's? I know you got blasted for not having one on Christmas. How dare you not have a show on Christmas? But go ahead and plug people where you are, where they can find you, and anything coming up.
I sure did, and Happy New Year, by the way. I guess that just goes to show that people enjoy foul territory. If they didn't like it not happening, yes, it is going to happen on New Year's Day, as scheduled. That's a faux show. That'll be at Friday night.
That's a faux show, not just a regular show. Faux show. Okay.
Faux show at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central on the Gizzard Gary channel, and then the following Sunday and every Sunday, the early bird chat that starts at 10 a.m. Eastern and 9 a.m. Central, 4-hour show where everybody can be on the panel and just yak it up. So, and hopefully between now and then I'll actually get a video out too. So, last one of 2020, and then we'll see what happens in 2021. It hopefully be a lot better year than this one turned out to be.
Right. No kidding. I mean, it can't. I'm not going to say that, but we hope it doesn't get worse.
I hope not.
Right. And here it says, most drop-in triggers by most companies don't recommend using with PCCs. Most of them have dedicated PCC trigger. Anyone know why that is?
Yeah,
is it curious to know a spring or a hammer or what? I don't know. I don't know why that is, but it is. Anyways, Snob. Happy New Year. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Happy New Year.
Yeah, man. Plug your stuff, and
I ain't got nothing.
But you've had a hell of a year, by the way. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And I want to, if you have any projects that you got coming up besides the whole challenge with SARS, which I'm really looking forward to, actually. But anything got coming up that we can tell people about?
I got a lot of stuff I need to do. I've just been really busy with life in general lately, so family and stuff.
It's that time of year. Yeah, it's that time of year.
But I'll get back on the ball next week, maybe.
The
week after.
Congratulations on an awesome year, man.
Yeah,
really happy for you. Really proud of you.
Thank you.
Jeffrey, what's going on at Gear Report? Anything that you want to talk about? Projects? I mean, you got a shit ton of projects that you're working on, but
and I got a lot of projects I'm working on.
Hey, Jeff, I got a question. Do you know where I can buy a tent at? I need a good used tent.
Yeah, just look down.
Yeah. Ooh,
just look down. There's your tent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
bitter much?
I've been spending way too much time on those tents because that was,
was that an investment that didn't play out? Or?
Talk about the perfect way to wrap up the crappy year is buying a bunch of tents. So here's the deal. There's supposed to be a specific model that all told weighs 340 pounds, but is manageable because it's in two parts, right? So two people can pick up each section. One section, two people can pick up, one person can pick up the other. It's not that bad to deal with. When we go to pick them up, 2/3 of them are the model that is literally twice that size.
Oh.
It's pushing 600 pounds. And I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with these? I can't even pick them up. So I had to go rent warehouse space with a forklift just to be able to get them off the trailer and put them somewhere. They were too big and too heavy to put where I was going to. So that has been time consuming. Project Humvee Battle, I'm going to put a new video up this evening. You can go check it out if you're so inclined. We have been unauthorized. Whoa. So we've been putting up a lot of Humvee content out there, doing interviews with Humvee companies, interviews with gun companies, interviews. I don't really care what kind of company it is anymore. I'll interview them. Sure. So, yeah.
I've got a construction company. When do I expect my interview?
You have to tell me when you're available. That's how it works, okay?
I've got a media production company, so I'd like to get in line with that too, please, sir.
Come on, man. Don't tease me, okay? I've had a rough year. Don't tease me.
Rich wants to know if those are collapsible houses or tents.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So let's see. And I've been working on a bunch of sailing content. So what's coming, what I'm really excited about is a lot more Humvee content because the truck's running really well now. And now we're getting to the point where I can do some fun stuff on it. So that's going well. We're gonna make hay with that. I am going to retire off of tents and ammo. So that's going to happen in the coming year because it damn sure hadn't happened yet. But it's going to. I know it.
He's gonna have to give a tent away or give a box of 9mm away with every tent just to sell it before long.
That's a good idea.
It's not a bad idea, actually.
How many you want, Snub?
My wife will probably buy one for me.
Yeah. So let's see. I got more sailing content coming. I got more outdoor backpacking content. I mean, Armed Citizen Podcast. I'm telling you about everything I do that doesn't have to do with guns. You know why? Because I got people like, where is he? I got to get my pointing right that way. Like that dude up there and the one up there. They do the gun stuff, Clover and Ghost and some of the other people, they do the gun stuff. I don't have to do much gun stuff anymore because I got people who are more competent than me who are willing to do it. So we go with that.
One thing I'm starting to worry about, I think that you and your buddies that you went on a hiking trip with are kind of getting maybe the Rona hits you too hard this year, or the being inside from the Rona all year. I noticed that you guys went snow skiing without snow because I saw all of you guys holding ski poles, but there was no snow. Were you guys confused? There was a weather report wrong. What happened there?
So I can't speak for anyone else, but I can tell you for me, the reason we call them trekking poles, okay? I know. I'm old, my balance is failing, and they keep me from falling over on the trail. Absolutely, yeah. Yep, that's what it is.
Hey, Jeff's like me. He'll shill for anyone. If you send it, I'll make a video with it.
That's right.
I'm furiously ordering something on Amazon right now.
I can have some fun with that because I can just do random shit and You'll put a video out, you say?
Yeah, ain't happening. No.
Oh,
No. That was a
there's
joke.
some really interesting stuff out there. Now, Gary, did you ever get your EDC bag from Amazon? Oh, Gary fell asleep. He's out.
No, I'm here. Did I get what?
Did you ever get your EDC bag that someone bought on Amazon for you? The chicken purse?
No, never got it.
No. Okay. Well, I'm interested. Someone bought a chicken purse through my Amazon, and it was hilarious. But I thought, well, it's got to be someone's buying Gary an EDC bag for
honest.
Gary bought it for himself. Be honest.
To be honest, though, they bought an awful lot of chicken paraphernalia on Amazon.
Earrings and what was it? Earrings and like a coin purse and a purse, all with chicken. So I figured, man, Gary's and Snob's probably right. He probably bought it for himself. It's all good. All right. Well, it's
personal.
Well, this is true. This is true. All right. G23 says I need to send over some lipstick, and he'll do a video on that. Lipstick would be the easiest thing that I would say.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm not even going that easy on him.
Yeah, that would be the easiest thing that I would send him if that was the case. All right. First of all, I want to say Clover. Clover is taking the technician's test this Saturday for the ham radio. And yeah, the guy that was supposed to give me mine, I think, came down with a Rona. It's been quarantined, so I haven't heard from it in a couple of weeks. So
that's why I say supposedly, allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, I get that done because I am tired of studying. I really want to take this test and forget it. So
I'm telling you.
So
you know what's weird? So
I
talked to you. I told you that I took a practice test today for the first time in quite a few days. The very first one, 94%, I think it was, or 96%. Nice. And it steadily went down from there. Now, I didn't go any lower than about 84, 86%. But I stopped. Yeah, I mean, I did like 5 in a row, and it was 94 or 6, 91%, 89%. It's like it kept dropping every time I took it. I'm like, oh, crap.
I guess I need to take this test because I put a slice of ham on my radio, and it's not picking up any better than it was before. I don't know what the problem is.
Well, it's got to be fried.
Oh,
prosciutto don't count.
Yeah, just saying. Yeah, it's gonna be fried. If you really want to pick up really good connects, it's gonna be fried bologna because the radio will get confused and just open up doors that it never knew it had because it's had fried bologna on there. So, anyways, no, thanks everyone for coming. Appreciate you guys. Everyone in the chat, appreciate you guys. Great conversation out there. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. It has been a really strange year, but I'm not going to lie. For the channel, it's been the best year. I mean, I started out with about 3,000 subs, and I'm 23,000. So I've gained 20,000 subs and all of that. So it was really, really a great year for the channel. And everything that was included with the channel and all that. It's been a phenomenal year. So thank you to everyone that has decided to click that subscribe button to watch the show, watch videos, comment, all of that stuff. Thank you so much for being a part of what we're trying to do. We've got some really cool stuff. I've got on my whiteboard, I've got ideas and projects that I think could be really, really fun in 2021. And we're going to start pushing some boundaries in a lot of different ways that you might not see coming a whole lot. So we're gonna have some fun doing a lot of different, interesting, new things for the channel. So let's see here. Midnight Ghost Tactical Clover Tech was overconfident and didn't even ask me for ham help. That's true. That's true. He is an overconfident guy. He's very proud of himself. But you know what? The great thing about that is we all are. And you got to have a little bit of confidence if you're going to succeed in anything in life. If you're not confident in yourself, then you might as well not even try. So it is what it is. Thank you so much, everyone that's always been watching and all that. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we gave you some ideas of what could be good, what could not be good. Jay and AVL says, I subbed to everyone here. Thanks, guys. Thank you. And I'm sure everyone else, thank you. And just enjoy the content. There's a lot of great creators out there right now, and a lot of them are in this room. not just in this room, but in the chat as well. There's a lot of great guys doing a lot of and gals doing a lot of great content shows and everything. Enjoy them because I think that there have been a lot of new channels pop up this year because of people stuck at home, and you can definitely tell who's in it for the right reason and who is not. So when you do find a list of channels that are out there for the right reason, support them as much as you can, not just financially, talking about financially, but just watch, share, but share their content, because there are a lot of people out there that are in it for the wrong reasons, and it is what it is. So anyways, it's been a little over 2 hours, which is crazy. I don't know why I get surprised every time. We go over 2 hours now every time because we have good conversations. But thank you so much, and go check out. Excuse me, hold on just a second. Everything's draining, which is a good thing. The sinuses are drained, but now it's driving me nuts. But I think if they haven't already started, they're getting ready to start over on Sandhill Shooters channel. You've got the Get Off My Lawn podcast. And then later on tonight over on Alaskan Ballistics, AB's got his late night Tuesday night chat where I try to jump on there every now and then. But we do a show. Jay and AB else is more shows. Man, I do this every Tuesday at 8 Eastern. So every Tuesday this is on. But if you want more shows, Monday night, I can give you a real quick rundown. Monday night, Clover at 7 Central has the Clover, the Clover Tack. That would be which one is that?
That's the lounge.
The lounge. That's right. So at 7 Central over at Clover Tack, he goes live on Monday.
You've got Shooting Gallery New England before me.
That's true. That is true. Tuesday night, obviously you have ours. Then you have Night Strike, and then you have.
Hey, you forgot Monday Night Shootout with the Outlaw Hatfield.
With Outlaw, because I'm glad that he's back. Absolutely. He goes about 9 o'clock Central, roughly. Mm-hmm. Between 8 and 9, whenever he decides to go live. But so that's when Tuesday night you have this one. You obviously have Night Strike, then you have Sandhill Shooters, Alaskan Ballistic. Wednesday night, you've got This Week Gear Report. There's another one on Wednesday night that I've been
with disabilities. Rick's
Life. Yep. That's before. That's at 6 o'clock Central. Mm-hmm. Prior to Jeff's. There's another one I've been starting to watch a little bit, but I can't remember what it is. But Thursday night, you've got a whole slew of them. You've got, you've got the big one is going to be Yankees on pretty much every night now. Hank Strange is on every night. Clover is on at 8 Central with that one. He does a Monday and Thursday podcast. Go check that one out. Friday night, you've got Gary. Gary comes on, and he'll stay on for about 2 hours. Excuse me. And then after that, you have Budget Guns and Gear, The Right of the People, which is a phenomenal podcast. Like Gary says, want to be my 900th subscriber. Are you at $8.99?
I was. Somebody just took number 900.
So right here, live on air, Gary reached 900 subs. Fantastic! Congratulations. Let's get him to 1,000, guys. Get him to 1,000.
Thank you.
But yeah, the Right of the People is a great one. Saturday, man. The weekend, you've got Rick is at 2 o'clock. G23 goes on for like 3 or 4 hours. Then after that, depending on, sometimes the hens will have a chat. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Sunday, you've got the Latino Locked and Loaded Latinos podcast is a great one. You've got Rich White over Unloaded Media, This Week Unloaded podcast. And then you have Midnight Range TM. That comes in at about 9:30 Central Time, and that is the closer, and great one. And I want to mention also that every weekday, Monday through Friday at midnight Eastern, you have a Daily Gun Show. Yep. It's called Daily Gun Show. That's channel. It's G Webs and a bunch of people, but it's the Daily Gun Show every weeknight at midnight Eastern. So that's a great one to. A lot of times I'll just put my earbuds on and kind of fall asleep. Not saying it's boring, but that's kind of how I go to bed every night. I listen to the Daily Gun Show. So, yeah. Gary says you got 901 now, my man.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So there you go. But
I
yeah,
can go and subscribe if you want to go back to 900. Keep an even number.
well, I can go back and
You're a
subscribe.
wonderful guy.
You're too late. I already did.
Oh, okay.
Butthead.
Yeah. Are there any other shows that you guys would recommend? I'm sure I missed some out there. There's so many great ones out there. Are there any ones that you guys? Because it was like Jay and ABL's looking for some new live stuff from our crew that we all kind of know. Is there anyone else that you would recommend? Anyone? Throw them out there.
Jason's been doing some live shows lately.
He has been. Yeah, he has been. That's true.
He's
not really on a schedule though, is he? Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's been doing Thursday, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he has been doing Thursday about 7 Central for a while.
Okay, all right. Well, I didn't know if it was a schedule, like a repeatable thing. I know he'd been going every now and then. I didn't know it was every week. So yeah, Jason Stewart. You said what? 7 Central.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
I think so. Yeah.
Got Polite Society Podcast.
Polite Society Podcast. Sure. You got We Like Shooting. Great. Okay, fun.
Get it into the
Tundra Tactical. If you just want to have fun, Tundra Tactical is a great one to have fun with.
Yep.
Yeah. Trying to think. If you're looking for podcasts, man, there's some great podcasts out there. Riding Shotgun with Charlie has a great one. Team Never Quit with Marcos and Terrell. Battle Line Podcast with Chris Tato Peranto. Those are the ones that those are the two that I really I try not to ever miss when they come out. And no, I am not a big fan of it.
Gut Freedom Radio.
You said it wrong, man.
Gut Freedom Radio.
Freedom Radio.
I Own the Target. With Amanda Sufcool, Amanda and Rob. Yeah, a ton of stuff, man. I mean, seriously, if you're serious about, I want a list of all these, the best way to do that would be to contact one of us through email. That way we can type it all out and keep track, because there's so many. There's so much out there. It's amazing. And we need more. So turn on the cameras, turn on the microphones, do your own podcast if you feel so inclined.
Sarge said that someone didn't introduce him to Shane.
Sean?
Yeah, Sean, yeah.
He's mad at me over that.
Well, good guys. I mean, I don't know. It's not that hard to meet them,
Yeah. Well, it's like,
go to Brownell's party and hang out with them for an hour and a half drinking a beer.
That's true. We need to, assuming that life gets back to normal, we need to get Sarge and Brownells, I guess.
All right. Can we please have Shot 2022? Whatever it needs to happen, I'll try to make it happen. I'm just looking for NRAM, and NRAM's in Houston.
I'm rooting for the NRA to not go under, just simply so they have NRAM in Houston in the next few months.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No,
that was supposed to be like April.
It's going to be in September this year.
Oh, is it? They're moving it?
The first weekend of September. Yeah, they've already scheduled it.
I'm not liking the chances even then.
Yeah, I don't see it. But
yep.
The only thing we got going for is maybe Texas and Houston have nice, they're not going to have restrictive stuff as much as other places could. So you never know.
Yeah. A lot of things could happen between now and then, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we've been rambling on. Anything else you guys want to bring up? Nope. Rich says, did you mention yeah, we did. Ellis is back on Monday nights. I'm so happy. Ellis is one of my favorite people in this world.
Oh, they do a Saturday wrestling chat, he says. So
that's right. They do a Saturday wrestling chat. That's true.
Wrestling
chat. Yep.
Yeah. Ellis is one of my favorite people, man. He really is. That is really a good-hearted dude, and I'm really happy that life is going good for him. Clover and I were talking on the phone. Was it last night? Maybe, I'm not sure. We were talking about life makes some interesting turns, and a couple years ago he was working in the restaurant genre. Can you imagine if he was still doing restaurant and not working in the firearm industry? He's got job security right now. He's not going anywhere.
Right.
If he was still working at restaurants, he would probably be out of a job. So it's amazing how things happen 2 years down the road and say, man, that was a really lucky break, So I'm really glad that he's having a good time.
Right.
and enjoy it. Ellis is one of my favorite people, man. He's just really, if you can't enjoy talking to Ellis, then you just really can't enjoy life. He's a great dude, great heart as well. So thank you to all my friends out there. Thanks for Gary, Clover, Jeff, and Snob for joining me tonight.
Yep.
Really do appreciate all the friends and family we have out there in the chat. You guys are our family. Love you guys, and we'll see you next Tuesday. I was going to say something profound, but I guess I can't. So anyways, Semper Fi.